I would just like to say that earlier today we had a bonus show come out where I said the Florida Gators should dominate the Georgia Bulldogs. And man, three words to describe that game, right? And I think you all know the three words: belt to ass.
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Gators, part of Locked On Podcast and Network, your team every day. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. Every day we are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. And this bonus ass whooping show is brought to you by Indeed. Hiring isn't just about finding someone willing to take the job. It's about finding the right person with the right background who can actually help your business move forward. And if you want candidates that match what you're looking for, Indeed sponsored jobs is the move. And if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed sponsored jobs, like Mike White did not do with anybody other than Georgia. And for some reason, those idiots did it. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help you get the job. To help your job get the premium status that it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, do it the right way with Indeed. And oh my goodness, the Florida Gators did indeed whoop that ass up and down the court against the Georgia Bulldogs. 86-66 final score. Georgia had 27 points in the first half. That's their least points scored or fewest points scored in the first half of a game this season. The Florida Gators are back, baby. And also, can we get a little bit of a round of applause in the chat here? Can we get a round of applause in the chat here? Because Ruben Inyalu, 20 rebounds. 20. I mean, just beating that ass up and down the court. I mean, on the glass in the first half, it was embarrassing. I'm just like, the amount of effort that teams need to put in to just out rebound Ruben Chinyalu is nuts, and I love it. I love it. I mean, it's so fun to watch a team that can just go out there and just any opponent that they see at any given time, they could just go, you know what? And just pimp slap them. Like, there's just no other way to describe it. It's so disrespectful. It's so rude. It's so Florida. And I love it. Like, I know that just to pull the curtain back for a second, like there's other SEC, like the Locked On SEC group chat, they'll talk about how Florida's fan base can be obnoxious and be this and be that and be toxic. And like other people can talk about Florida's fan base as being toxic. But here's the thing. I love it. Frankly, I do. I do, because especially when Florida's winning, like then you get to be toxic and everyone can just sit down, shut up, and they can't say anything about it. They can't do anything about it. That's it. Like Florida, I mean, Boogie Flan, Xavier Lee, there was a time where late in the second half, what's up, everybody? There's a time where late in the second half, kind of felt like Georgia had some life, right? It was like a 10-point game. I think it was 72-62, something like that. You had a Boogie Flan, you had a Xavier Lee 3, and then you had the Boogie Flan like free throw jumper, and it was just like, all right, dude, like if they're doing that, they're doing that, but you don't stand a chance. What else was? Oh, it was the Boogie Flan like heave with like a second and a half left on the clock. He just chucked it and like it drained it, and it's just like, dude, if those are the shots that you're hitting, it's over. It's time to put my future in. What was I waiting on? I don't know. I placed it before the season. I was very open about that. I placed my future on Florida Gators to go back to back at the start of this or before the season even started. So I mean, I don't know what took you so long to do it, but Florida Gators, they're doing it right. Maybe. I got the odds. It was plus 2,500, by the way. When I got the odds, so I was just checking on my phone on FanDuel, plus 2,500. And like, I will also say, like Florida just like from jump. First, Florida started the game on a kill shot. Florida started the game on a kill shot. For those who don't remember, a kill shot is a run where one team has 10 or more and the other team has 0. And Florida started the game on that. Like Florida just beat the absolute life out of Georgia. And oh, it felt so good to see. It felt so good to see. And look, I'm not going to pretend that everything was positive and everything was great, right? I'm not, because it wasn't. But there were a lot of positives and there were a lot of things to be happy about. And we don't have to always complain about negatives, right? We can just be happy that Florida never fired Mike White, right? Florida never fired Mike White. But the Georgia Bulldogs did pay more than $1 million to the University of Florida so that they could have the privilege and the right to hire Mike White. And they paid Florida over $1 million so that they could hire a guy who's now going to be 1 in 8, or now is 1 in 8 against Florida. You paid Florida to beat your ass every year, twice a year. You paid for that. You sick puppies. You paid for that. You beat them one time. And guess what happened? The one time that Mike White's Georgia Bulldogs beat the Florida Gators. Do you know what happened? Do you? Because the answer is that for the rest of the season, the Florida Gators did not lose a game. Mike White has beaten the Florida Gators one time as the head coach at Georgia. And Florida's response was, you know what? We're not losing a game for the rest of the season. We're going to go win the national championship. And that's exactly what happened. The Georgia Bulldogs are going to remain dead as a program for as long as Mike White is their head coach. I will say I'm proud of him. It took him until 2025, but he figured out that maybe going a little bit up-tempo will help. Florida, unfortunately, is just the buzzsaw that nobody wants to run into right now. That's it. Good luck stopping Ruben Chinyelu. He had 20 rebounds. Good luck. Georgia had 7 more defensive rebounds than Ruben Chinyelu had. Okay? That's it. Boogie Flan, Xavier Lee combined to shoot 14 for 27. Shot above 50%. Combined, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say nothing about it. I'm not going to say nothing about it, right? Combined for 6 rebounds as well. Xavier Lee had 7 assists. Boogie Flan did not have any. They combined for 5 steals. And like, I feel bad because I know that tomorrow, every Florida Gator, like their foot is going to hurt and their ankle is going to hurt because they are going to have to, now that the game is over, maybe surgically remove the foot of every Gator out of the Georgia Bulldogs' asses after that one. I don't know if they go to a vet or like a doctor. I don't know where you go for that. But Florida just BTA all damn game. I'm gonna be honest with I don't normally, I've been very open about this. I don't normally bet on college sports. I say that a lot. and I mean it a lot, I don't normally bet on college sports. Because my thought is that college athletes are really volatile. Gambling on professional sports, they're volatile enough. College athletes are even more volatile. Um, but this morning, I sent a message to my group chat, my friends, um, and I just said, "Hey, for the degenerates interested, I absolutely hammered Florida minus 9.5 on FanDuel. Cha-ching! Throw that one out there. I don't normally do it, but something told me Florida is going to go up and down the court, and oh my goodness, they did. We're going to talk more about that lethal ass whooping when we get back with Locked On Gators. The Winter Games are officially here, and if you're anything like us, you're locking in for events you only get to see on the biggest stage every 4 years. That's why following the Winter Games on FanDuel just makes sense. From medal counts to individual events to finding your angle on the sports that you care about most, FanDuel gives you more ways to stay connected to the action. I mean, curling is the greatest thing you're ever going to watch. I forget it exists until the Winter Olympics, and then I'm glued to it. I don't even know what's happening half the time, but something about curling. I love it. The Winter Games are on, and there's no better way to follow them than with FanDuel. FanDuel, play your game.
I'm Kalia Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. Dawn Staley and South Carolina remain on top of the SEC standings after handing Tennessee their worst defeat in program history with a final score of 93-40. In the 43-point win, South Carolina shot 69% from the field. Tessa Johnson had a perfect shooting night, scoring 24 points, shooting 4 for 4 from the floor, including 2 threes, and made all 4 of her free throws. And UCLA remains undefeated in Big Ten play, topping Michigan 69-66 as Player of the Year contender Lauren Betts put up a double-double, scoring 16 points, collecting 16 rebounds, and adding 5 assists and 3 blocks. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts the same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
Know that the Florida Gators are going to just whoop ass all the time. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day every day. We are available daily and free in the podcast and on YouTube. I am Brandon Olsen, as always, enjoying this ass whooping that the Florida Gators delivered on the Georgia Bulldogs. Josh, you're a psycho for alting that to minus 19.5. You're a genius, but a psycho. Look, we're gonna acknowledge the negatives here, right? We are a little bit. Doesn't need to be anything, dramatic. But there are some negatives that drove me freaking nuts during the game. Most notably, Alex Condon, 7 turnovers. Florida had 14 total. Alex Condon had 7 of them. That is ridiculous. And look, some of them I don't totally blame him for, right? The dribble handoff where he showed it and then brought it back and then showed it again, and I think it was Blue Cane. I'm sorry. I keep calling him Blue Cane. I'm so sorry. Then Slim Jesus poked it out. And went coast to coast, and then Condon blocked him with the foul. Sure, call a foul all you want. But that one, absolutely your fault. You can't do things like that. The one to Ruben Chinilu, where he just whipped a 90-mile-an-hour ball at him. Yes and no. The thought was there, right? The thought was there. The pass was there. Honestly, I still thought it was something where if Chinilu was expecting it, he could have caught it, but I don't think I just don't think he was expecting a fastball there, like an Anthony Richardson slant, where he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna throw this as hard as I possibly can at you. Um, that one just like that honestly, like I get it. I get why people are mad at it. The way that I think about things is the way that I think about things. And I think like the thought was there, just weren't on the same page. You shouldn't have done it, but I'm not gonna crush you for that. I am gonna crush you for the dribble handoff one. You absolutely deserve that. That was just a bad decision. Um, so context matters as with all things. Um, Micah Hanlockton, just like I don't know, I like him, I do. But there's just sometimes where like I don't know what the hell is going through his mind sometimes. Honestly, I'm like, you're 7-1. Just put your hands up, dude. Don't try to push people and bounce. Just push your hands up. Isaiah Brown, a little bit of a coming out party there. 12 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 for 4 from 3, despite Andres. I don't even know if you're here, Andres, but despite Andres saying that he's not a 3-point shooter, which, like, to be fair, when he said it, absolutely right. But Isaiah Brown, another example of why he needs to play more. I love what Isaiah Brown brings to the table. I really do. I like that he's the guy that's separated as the 8th man in the rotation. Love it. Urban Klavjar, 8 points, 2 for 5 shooting, 2 for 4 from 3. Like that's what he's supposed to do. That's his job. Condon is a junior. Yeah, I could see him staying another year. It's an interesting situation with Condon because like he's been so wildly inconsistent last year. I think it's ultimately going to come down to how patient he is, really. Because I think what we've seen this year, like I don't think he's improved his draft stock from last year. Just the amount of downs there are. It's tough. But I also feel like that's one of those situations where he's probably going to look at what happened last year and go, if I come back again, I might fall even more, right? When I was supposed to go 22nd or whatever the expectation was. So we'll see with Condon, honestly. I'd take him back. I do. And I think I'm someone that's been harder on Condon than most. Even like going back to last year, I know there were a bunch of people who were loving what Condon was doing. And I was just like, there's so much going wrong because he's just so inconsistent and his negatives are really bad. But like 6 for 8 shooting was great. I love when he's just like, oh, I'm bigger than this guy. I could do that. Love how he runs in transition. Like no other teams have a gazelle like that can really get going. But to get Boogie and Xavier Lee kind of putting things together, cannot express how important that is for the Florida Gators. We're like, your leading scorers tonight, Xavier Lee, Boogie Fland, and then Alex Condon was tied with Isaiah Brown. Thomas Houck shot 2 for 8 and 1 for 6 from 3. Ruben Chinyelu shot 3 for 7. They had a combined 18 points. Houck had 11. Chinyelu had 7. Like they were relative non-factors scoring-wise. I don't want to say offensively because they both help open things up. Thomas Houck had 5 assists, which was the second most in the team behind only Xavier Lee. Ruben Chinyelu, of course, had 5 offensive rebounds. Like, I don't want to talk about his little brother is on the team. Isaiah Brown is the little brother. Yeah, AJ was at Ohio. At Ohio. But I mean, look, this team next year they're going to be a lot of fun, right? Which is a great thing to say, right? Because you'll probably have Isaiah Brown back, should have Boogie Fland back. We'll see if Ollie ever gives us something. Houck was perfect from the line. Yeah, Houck shot was it 6 for 6 from the free throw line? Which is one of the reasons that Thomas Houck's field goal percentage has dropped this year. Is that which Brown are you asking about? But one of the reasons that Thomas Houck's field goal percentage has dropped this year is that he is hammering the paint now. Like he's just hammering the paint, trying to get to the line. And that sometimes leaves you at a little bit of a disadvantage there, right? Like if you're not getting to the line, that's unfortunate. Brian, they're both on Florida. Both of the Browns are on Florida. Isaiah Brown is the younger one. The one that actually plays is Isaiah Brown. He's a sophomore. AJ Brown is the older brother that is a junior redshirting this year due to I think it was shoulder. Then he just transferred in from Ohio this offseason. Yeah. Isaiah Brown's the sophomore. He's in his second year. But yeah, I mean, I think this is just a team that right now they're cooking. And I've got no problem saying that at some point throughout the remainder, which now Florida is number 5 on KenPom, at some point throughout the rest of the regular season, maybe it's a Kentucky game, right? Maybe it's Arkansas, one of the Kentucky games. Maybe it's Arkansas. You're probably going to drop a game. Just again, that's not me being pessimistic. That's just me saying that, like, watching this team play and statistics and the odds will tell you that Florida's probably going to lose a game at some point. They're going to be favored in every single game as the season goes on, but they're probably going to lose a game somewhere. Honestly, wouldn't be mad with another regular season loss if it meant that you got that swift kick in the ass again to get things into it, right? Like you're on now a 4-game win streak after the Auburn loss. Your longest win streak is 5 this season. Get a little swift kick in the rear, get back into it. BTA once again on everybody. I'm good with it. The Florida Gators are back in the national title picture, back in the national title conversation. Okay. This is a thing where we spoke about it. I wrote about it like a week ago or something like that. Florida, despite being as bad as they've been shooting the 3 this year, they've been improving. Their defense is just insane right now. They're a really good basketball team, right? Like there's just no other way to put it. They're a really good basketball team. They are awesome on the offensive glass. They are awesome on the defensive glass as well. Great defense. The only thing they're not doing well is forcing turnovers. That's kind of it. They do everything else well, at least from the 4 factors, right? Which is effective field goal percentage, turnover percentage, offensive rebound percentage, and free throw rate. They're great at all those. It's literally just forcing turnovers, which they've gotten better at, by the way. Like they were really bad at it before. They've gotten a bit better at it. They're improving. Like this is going to be a Florida Gators team that can make a really deep run if they just put together, a little bit of consistency there. But they're back in the national title picture. The Florida Gators have a very real chance to go back to back. Like we get to do that again. We get to celebrate that again. And let me tell you, if I am covering a Florida Gators team that goes back to back, insufferable does not begin to describe the way I'm going to act in the SEC group chat and on squad shows and every opportunity I get. Okay. I'm going to go belt to ass on the group chats. All right. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day every day. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. We've been doing 2 shows a day for the past week or so. We're going to keep that thing going tomorrow. I will again, I'm just going to be completely pull the curtains back here. We have been just climbing for months. Okay. We've just been climbing. This has been incredible to see. It's incredible to be a part of. I'm honored to cover our program. I love it. It's tremendous. We're going to cover baseball this year more and more often than we have in the past, where we've done every now and then we would talk about baseball. We're going to do it more consistently, not just in the postseason. But thank you all for the support. Thank you all for tuning in. None of this happens without you. I am Brandon Olsen. I thank you all so much, and I will see you all next time.